Long before the empires of Rome, Greece, or China, a land between two mighty rivers gave birth to human civilization. And this was Mesopotamia, the land between rivers, where the Tigris and Euphrates carved fertile valleys in the harsh landscapes of the Near East. Over 5,000 years ago, humanity took its first monumental steps toward organized society. The story begins with Sumer, a collection of small city-states, each ruled by its own king and patron deity. Cities like Uruk, Ur, and Eridu were more than settlements. They were hubs of innovation. Bustling markets thrived as traders exchanged barley, wool, and crafted goods. Scribes recorded every transaction using cuneiform, the world's first writing system. This invention was revolutionary, not just for communication, but for governance, law, and culture. Agriculture was central to Sumerian life. Farmers harnessed the unpredictable waters of the rivers through canals and irrigation, producing surplus crops that supported growing populations. This abundance allowed cities to thrive, fueling crafts, trade, and monumental architecture. Towering ziggurats, dedicated to gods, dominated the skyline, showcasing both religious devotion and the organizational power of these early societies. But Mesopotamia was not just about prosperity, it was a land of rivalry. City-states frequently competed for resources and dominance. Sumerian kings codified laws, attempting to maintain order in a region of fierce independence and frequent conflict. These codes laid the foundation for justice, influencing civilizations for millennia. The dawn of empire came with the Akkadians, led by Sargon of Akkad, who around 2334 BCE united the Sumerian city-states under one rule. For the first time, a centralized authority spanned the region, establishing networks of administration, taxation, and military power. Akkadian culture blended with Sumerian traditions, spreading innovations like writing, religious practices, and art across Mesopotamia. Yet even the mighty Akkadian Empire was not eternal. Environmental challenges, invasions, and internal strife weakened its grip. City-states regained independence, illustrating a pattern that would repeat throughout Mesopotamian history. Innovation and civilization thrived. But political unity remained fragile. As centuries passed, Mesopotamia faced challenges that tested its resilience. The fertile lands that had once nourished the first cities were also vulnerable. The rivers that gave life could flood unpredictably, destroying crops, homes, and infrastructure. Over time, environmental pressures like salinization from irrigation and soil depletion began to weaken agriculture, creating scarcity and tension among city-states. Political instability was a constant threat. After the fall of the Akkadian Empire, power shifted repeatedly among Sumerian city-states, Babylon, and other emerging powers. While some rulers attempted to unite Mesopotamia under centralized authority, the region's history of independent city-states made lasting unification nearly impossible. Constant rivalries, wars, and invasions by neighboring peoples like the Gutians and later the Amorites created a cycle of rise and decline. Amid these struggles, innovation continued. The Babylonian king Hammurabi, around 1754 BCE, codified one of the earliest comprehensive law codes, establishing rules on trade, property, and justice. These laws reflected both the achievements and fragility of Mesopotamian civilization. While society could create sophisticated legal and social structures, maintaining stability across diverse cities was an ongoing challenge. Trade and culture shaped Mesopotamia's enduring legacy. Even as empires rose and fell, the region remained a hub of exchange goods. Ideas and technology flowed along the Tigris and Euphrates. Astronomy, mathematics, and writing advanced, influencing civilizations far beyond Mesopotamia. Eventually, waves of conquest brought the era of independent Mesopotamian city-states to an end. Foreign empires, including the Assyrians and later the Babylonians under Nebuchadnezzar II, dominated the region. While the land remained inhabited and culturally rich, the first era of Sumerian innovation, the true cradle of civilization, had passed. Yet, the legacy of Mesopotamia endures. Writing, law, urban planning, irrigation, the inventions of these ancient people laid the foundations for future civilizations across the world. From the ruins of Ur to the tablets of Hammurabi, Mesopotamia's story reminds us that human creativity and resilience can thrive even in the most challenging circumstances. Closing narration. If you want to journey through time and witness the epic rise and fall of Mesopotamia, subscribe to Historical Story YT and join us as we continue to explore the fascinating stories of the world's earliest civilizations. Don't forget to like, share, and comment which part of Mesopotamian history fascinates you the most.